Let us understand different type of machine learning. Within machine learning, we have multiple types. Out of these, supervised learning, unsupervised learning, recommendation system, and deep learning, where we use it predominantly. Let us see in detail what are all these learnings and how it works. Supervised learning is more commonly used where we will be having huge amount of historical data and we will be having a label what we will be calling it as dependent variable, and we will try to predict the dependent variable based on the various features of the data points. Let us take a simple example. I do have various features like age, zip location, work profile, last year tax paid, like this n number of information I do have. So this all we call it as features, and I'll be trying to predict the loan amount. What is the safe amount of loan can be approved to that particular person. And I'll be having huge amount of historical data with all these features and the label. And this is what we will be splitting them into the train and test data, and with the train data we will be trying to generate the model. So in a summary, in supervised learning, I know what I am going to predict. The opposite to that is unsupervised learning, where I will not know what I am going to predict. Simple example, assume I am going to have huge amount of continuously generating data from a sensor. Let's say a sensor keep on generating the data. For understanding purpose, let's assume this is the sensor from the earth movers. Earth movers may have a number of sensors. And whenever the earth mover about to fail, there will be a change in the pattern within the data. So whenever the data that's coming in, there might be a change in the pattern in terms of increase in the temperature of any specific component of a earth mover, or consumption of the fuel will be very high, or the output, the gas exhaust might be having huge amount of carbon content. So what is the data that is having a difference or an anomaly on this? And this is where the things going to happen like failure of the system, or I might have some other external factor impacting the system. In this particular unsupervised learning, I'll be having huge amount of data. I'll try to analyze the pattern that is having an anomaly. Let us take another example. Assume I am going to have the stock trade exchange, stock trade that is happening over a period of time. Let's assume a huge amount of stock trades that are happening, and every transaction, if I try to analyze, there might be some transactions which are different than the normal pattern. I'll extract only that specific transaction and I'll make it for scrutiny, or I'll send it for verification purpose. So these are all some of the examples of unsupervised learning. In unsupervised learning, I'll be trying to identify the anomaly within the data, and I'll try to segment the group of data as useful data, or the data which is having anomaly and data which is not having anomaly. This can be used for the group of employees as well. I'll be having n number of employees, and I'll be segmenting the users into 3 different groups, and I want to identify which are all the employees who are going to get 8% hike, or 10% hike, or 12% hike. So I'll be having n number of users, and I'll be segmenting the users into different categories based on different values. So this is another example for unsupervised learning, as well as like identifying the trending products and trending technology that is available based on a number of questions getting posted in the QA forum. I may want to separate them based on the technology. So what are all the forum questions that are related to the L1 support? What are all the forums that are related to the technical support? So those type of segregation I can do. In all these situations, we will be using unsupervised learning. And another type of learning that we saw is recommendation system. In this particular recommendation system, we will be analyzing various factors and behaviors of the data, and we will try to give a recommendation of a product. Say for example, I might identify various factors and number of minutes the user visited that particular page or stayed in that particular page, and in which page they exited the website, and who are all their friends within their social media. Based on that, I'll be in a position to give a recommendation what movie the user might like it. The simple scenario, the user with the same taste will have the similar likings and dislikings. So that's going to give us an idea to give the recommendation of a movie or recommendation of a product or any hotel or any resort, any vacation place they wanted to go. I'll be in a position to give the best recommendation. If I give the recommendation to the user based on the particular list and the likings they had earlier, there are chances they will be liking that particular page very well and they will like the website also. The another type of learning that we have is the deep learning, that is very specific, where we will be using a neural network algorithm where everything will be considered as a tensors. So this is very similar way how our brain works. It will be generating n number of conditions whether to go or not to go. Dynamically it will be creating the conditions and it will be taking the decisions and it will be creating a model, and that model will be used to predict or to identify the values for the future data. We will see examples for each of this learning through a demo.